There is a monastery where a group of strangers became best friends. This monastery is a safe haven, a place between places. It is a place where anyone can enter and feel like they belong. It is a place where the injured can find refuge and become healed. It is a place where weaknesses are shared and are made stronger. It is a light in even the darkest of plains, and anyone can stay as long or as short as they'd like and not have to worry about being judged. They come here when they need to, when it calls to them. But the Monasterium Tempore is not just a place, it's an idea. That anyone can be who they want to be, live out a dream that they want to, and no one can take that away from them. It's a place where magic feels more real than anywhere else. It's a place where a girl who was hurting and scared was able to find a friend and play a game that would change her life forever. For good. This place is heaven. Welcome to the monastery. Alrighty, welcome. We are live. Fantastic. All right. Welcome anybody who has never heard of us before or has heard of us and doesn't understand what we are about. We're trying to figure out how to describe it better. It's just like, how do you describe this? How do you describe what we're doing? So we'll try our best. Hang with us. Intros. Mortem, start us off.
Hello, I'm Mortem. I'm the head of one of the two heads of the monastery, as well as my brother Winston, who is not here at the moment and doesn't usually like to come to these meetings.
I am Stranth. I am the most beautiful dragonborn that you would ever meet. And the most intelligent artificer one could ever hope to find.
It's true, it's true. I am Elena. I am a member of the monastery. And friends of Zaranth, Winston, Mortem. we're all family basically at this point. We play a game online. So breaking that fourth wall right away. We play a game and we write a story that we've written. We've been writing since February, and we are trying to share it somehow. We basically play out mostly Dungeons and Dragons D&D system, but it's a role-playing game. So we play out our characters, and we try to think how they would think, and we've got different mannerisms and different goals that our characters want to fulfill, and different things that they will do and won't do and would do for some people or for some things. And yeah, we just write a big story, and we all affect each other. So it's not just one author, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll start out, I guess this is the intro, the beginning of the video. We do what we're doing now, and then eventually we're going to do a spoiler line where it's like, don't listen if you don't want to know anything about the story so far, as we're really trying to get it out there. So what we're doing, something really cool that we did today. Mortem, you want to say what we did today?
We finally got the Patreon up today.
Yay!
Finally figured that out.
We did. So there's a video on our YouTube you can check out. that is the it's called 3 options. Oh, I better made it options instead of choices. Dang it, I'll have to check it. Dust. And that is like kind of a teaser of what we're able to do and what we do all the time. If you want to buy the full story though, you got to go to the Patreon and you got to become a patron and join the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you get some really cool art. You get like an actual download of the art that's used in the video if you wanted to become an initiate, which is $5 a month, I believe. And then you can get,
It's
what is it?
initiate is 3. No, it's. I just had it pulled up.
Students 3. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3. There's a $3 tier, which is pretty much just the story. The $5 tier, which is the story and a few other things, and then $10 is all that other stuff plus some extra bonus content if you play 5th edition.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, I wrote down some stuff today of what we could do. I have some ideas I want to brainstorm with you guys and figured we could just do it here so people can even see like how we think. Like we don't even know what we're doing, but what if
Half the time we just say stuff and it works.
yeah. We're like, what if we did this? Let's start. I mean, I think it was it you, Saranth, that you're like, we should start, one of you was like, we should start a podcast. And
Uh,
I don't remember.
honestly,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I think it was Ranth said that.
I remember Saranth definitely was like, you need to pick something that you like to do and then like do that, you know, and try to grow it or whatever. And I remember this was so we had this. It's been less than a month since we had that heart to heart, but basically I was out like walking around and there was a football game going on nearby and the Eminem song "Lose Yourself" started playing in the background, and I was like, guys, this is our one shot. Like, so we're doing it. We're starting a business, I guess, and we're trying to get paid for what we like to do. So that includes getting some cool content out, like the homebrew daggers and weapons and like
Hub classes and
yeah.
whatever else we can think of.
Yeah. Like, okay, what if we get out there? I'm just gonna throw this out. What if we get like character art and a bio, like a stat sheet, so someone could like put that into their campaign? Like, if someone wants to play Saranth, maybe not Saranth, but you know, like an NPC, like they can now.
Mm-hmm. I think we could probably do something like that.
That would be interesting, just so that people can be insulted by Saranth without me having to insult them.
There you go. Oh, they could play Talks. You could have Talks the stat.
Yes.
Play Talks. Bring
that would be like Giga spoilers though. Like his stat sheet is like off limits.
Oh right, you're right. That's why I was like, maybe not the main characters, but I'm trying to think.
Maybe a few characters that pop up every once in a while we might.
Yeah, Maddie. Okay, Maddie would be a good one. Maybe Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie we could do. It's like I have NPCs that come in every once in a while that I could give stat sheets for.
Yep.
Wreckage would be another one that I'd be fine with.
There we go.
Mushi.
Okay, hold on, I'm writing these down. Okay, so
which is like I'm not going to give all their equipment out, but I might give like a few things of what they have.
Nushi new. Maisie. Ooh, I could make a Maisie stat sheet with her whole title and reputation. What motivates her? I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Like that was some idea. along with the weapons and the items and the homebrew, the cool stuff. So that way it's like people can, because that's essentially what we're doing, is we are all DMs and we're building this world, so we're trying to like sell it in a way so that we can continue to do this because we really like this. It's really fun.
I've DM'd like once.
No, you have not since this. Locks it all.
Oh yeah, Loxtall. Oh
Yeah,
shit, you're right.
Technically, anytime enters Loxstall and you do stuff, that's DMing.
Oh right.
And
Oh, shit, you're right.
Ixar and the Pockets Adventure.
Oh yeah, that was also pretty good.
That one was, I was really glad that one took up a whole chat and everyone left us alone, and it took days, but it was a beautiful story. It was awesome. Yeah, so I guess before we go into our spoilers, we are trying to get out more of our story. We're just trying to use our talents and the things that we like about D&D and RPG stories. And we're trying to get it out there. But we don't know how to do that because there's not really a manual for it. So it's been a lot of learning as we go. Like, hey, we have a bunch of art. What if we like sell the art? Okay, well, I need to format the art. Okay, and then it's like a full day of just formatting the art. It's like, okay, that's all done and taken care of, but now there's like, now what? And the Patreon and the story, and oh, we got a sick PDF of the story for those that go onto the Patreon and get the story that's up right now. I was very proud of myself. I made it look like a Discord background. So yeah, check out our stuff, and I don't know, do you guys have any other announcements before we go to the
Eventually, there might be like other content that we'll add that will not be a part of the story that's written, but just like extra bonus content of like a little bit inside the character.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Without going into detail of what that is, but yeah, so.
Love it. Cool. Zarantha, you got anything else before your daily news report?
Not particularly.
Well, fantastic. All right. Anybody who is listening, and I mean, so there's going to be spoilers after this point. We're going to talk about what's been going on in our server right now. So if you're a person that likes mysteries and you'd rather read the story from the beginning, because we're going to try to get it from the beginning, you can jump off now or whatever. But if you stick around, it's also like you don't know what you're not missing out on. I don't know how to describe it. So anyway, spoilers after this point. This is the story. Currently, the story is still being written, but as of today's date, this is what is current after this point. So. So Zarant.
Anyways,
yeah, take it
away. We're doing a Loxodol news report.
Yes.
All right, so big things in Loxodol. First off is that the average income has exceeded 150,000 deniers a year. That's pretty good. Currently, it is exactly 156,445, which is really high. It's in like the top second percentile. And then nuclear war is coming in about 4 days, which is amazing.
4 days?
Yeah, nuclear war. To prepare, the Treasury has had the largest cut in its history to expedite and subsidize research on cutting edge, bleeding edge, offensive and defensive technology so that we can, quote, hit the hardest and be hit the least.
So Friday's going to be the nuclear war.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's Friday.
Stay tuned to that.
Yeah, it's Friday. Hopefully, it won't get in the way of profit. But if we nuke everybody first, then they won't be able to nuke us. That's our motto. Well, at least for this war.
It's true.
At least for this event.
For this event. I imagine they have... Loxodol is just great.
Loxodol is great, man. I love Loxodol.
My favorite daily news this week was the celebrity one. With the pop star, the singer that you put in there.
Oh yeah, he was essentially what happened with him. He was drafted to go into the military, but the issue is that he was a pop star and had he had a following, very large following, and they were not happy. So what Loxodol did was, by quote unquote donating, you can avoid conscription. Like, you can help the war effort in other ways.
There you go.
With money. Like, that actually goes with Loxodol's actual motto, which is, if there's a problem, throw money at it.
Throw money at it, yeah.
Yep.
And if it doesn't respond, just throw more money at it and until it fixes itself. Great, man.
Come to Loxodol.
Well, come to Loxodol.
Thank you for the...
We have discounts on air-conditioned planes.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, if you want to use the restroom on Loxodolian planes, or at least the cheaper ones, you have to pay an additional fee.
What?
Yeah, the discount Loxodolian airlines are more like, do you want your human rights violated?
Oh gosh.
Like, yeah, we'll get you where you need to go for $20, but you're not gonna be happy about it.
I just love the spin. It's just so refreshing. The world that you run is unlike any that I've ever experienced.
I know. I always see these nations where it's like, it's perfect, it's a utopia, everybody can live in peace with no conflict ever. And that's not wrong. Like, I feel like that's a necessary thing to have, especially for like, that's a necessary kind of archetype to have, especially because it like emphasizes when something bad actually does happen, which is the conflict of the story, which makes the story overall better. But there is no conflict in Loxodol because it's all solved immediately with guns and money. So the fun parts of the story come because of Loxodol. And I just like that.
Very unique. It's very special. It's like when you come to Loxodol, you just don't know what is different until you experience it. Like the zoo. You guys went to the zoo and you had it was, I think, the ride in, you could take a guided tour or something into it, like a drive in, but you had to pay to get out.
No, you don't have to pay to get it. Like, you'll get out normally, yeah, but if you have to like get out because of an emergency, like maybe you have to go to the bathroom, or maybe you're having an allergic reaction to a hostile bee sting, or you have to pay an extra fee so that they can stop the ride, teleport you out. Like, if you die there, that's your fault. Like, you didn't pay the fee. I'm sorry you were allergic to the bees. I'm sorry you tried to pet the
I
dinosaur.
feel like there should be a really long contract that you sign when you come into Loxodol that's like explains all that. If you die, it's your fault that you didn't have enough money. Welcome to Loxodol.
Come visit. We have great crepes. Geez. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Just so beautifully dastard. It's just so beautifully why.
it's great. So that's one channel in our server you can come to. We also have the Monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Which, what is that, Mortem? What's up with that?
It's the monastery part that I run. That's kind of the basis for everything that we're doing. Let's see, what happened this week? Nothing really happened in the monastery this week, besides the students who are in there getting trained.
Mm-hmm.
A few of them went on missions and things like that, but not a whole lot happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because one of the heads, me, wasn't there for most of the week. But that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep, monastery is a cool place. Lots of cool rooms you can go to. Lots of rooms that haven't been discovered yet. I remember coming to it the first time, and that was just such a bizarre idea to just like you had these scissors and you cut a portal like through space, and then we all of a sudden were in this big like fighting pit, and like it had like a thunderdome is how you described it. Over
Yeah.
the top, and you could look out into the astral sea, which is our background here. You can see the astral sea.
Mhm.
I want to ask questions, but I want to do it in character. Like Elena has questions, like why are we in the astral sea and where are we going? Like like
It's a good question that nobody has asked, and people are just like, "Yeah, that's what happens, and that's just where it is."
I understand. I remember something that you said way at the beginning, but I haven't brought it back up, and I need to.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly why it's up there.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So monastery is in the astral plane, which is great because the astral sea, because there were some people. So we started on a different server, and then they added channels to make the monastery a place, and then people joined in who had played in the inn before, but they didn't know what the monastery was. So all of a sudden there was like someone knocking on the door, and
Mm-hmm.
you were like, in the astral sea. And they were like, yes. And it was like, oh, okay, sure. And so like they came on in. And I remember Elena and Mortem, I think we were gonna go see a sunrise. And I was like, get out of here, people. Like, we gotta leave. And I tried to casting banishment and then used my portent dice to make them fail. And then like they responded like, still here. And it was like, oh.
No, you're not.
No. I know. Well, it turned out that they were a god. So it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That was dry.
yeah.
That was dry.
It was one of the.
Legendary resistances go
It's like,
bear.
whatever. No, you can still. Oh, you're right. Yeah. It was just couldn't be banished. Maybe they were from the astral sea. Whatever. They just. hand waved the RP moment.
Legendary resistances are great, man. Love having them.
Yep. So, I remember I've grown a lot through this, for sure. Because, like, looking back, Elena was very cocky. Like, no, you're banished, you're out of here. And, like, no plausible thought that anyone could fail this ever. And now we've got people with, you know, legendary resistances, because I've, you know, battled you, Saranth, I tried banishing you, and I made you burn through, I think, all 3 of your, or I think there was like 2, maybe 2, legendary resistances, because I banished you while we were fighting.
I think one of the banishments were because one of the banishments failed to work just because I had a really high charisma save bonus.
Okay.
And the other one, the one that actually failed, was because you forced a nat 1.
I was trying so hard to win that fight, because it was like, you know, I even asked, like, what if we leave the room? Like, is it over? Like, you lose? As I'm, like, looking over at the door, and you're like, yeah, if someone leaves, it's over. And I was like, banishment. And you're like, no!
You're like, stop it. That's illegal.
I was so pissed at your legendaries. So I've learned a lot. I've learned that I don't know everything. I don't know what's going to happen in combat. I don't know. You know, it's just become like we've just grown a lot through playing this. I've grown a lot, so.
Like, Div Wizards can still control combat to an amazing degree, but
Counterspell. Yeah.
Yeah, they still can't, you know, do everything.
No. Yep, because when it comes down to it, a person can only do so much in 6 seconds, you know? Like,
Right.
like, even Scorch with his, like, whatever, 6 or 8 attacks, like, eventually he has to stop and have it be someone else's turn, you know? So, yeah.
Right.
Yep, so in the server this week, what happened this week?
Don't forget, we also have the manor before we.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, there's another channel called the Server Queen's Manor. This is actually where you'll start playing if you've never joined our server. You can jump in there and you can just start, you know, talking to people. There's some adventure channels. You can go on adventures with people. There is now, oh my gosh, the post office. Yes, let's talk about that real quick. There's a character, Nikolai. Oh man, what a guy!
Oh my god, we love Nikolai.
He's so great.
Mhm.
He's the himbo, the gym teacher coach, like, that jogs everywhere, who always has protein shakes and will literally give you a pep talk for 10 minutes, because that's, I think, one of his features.
Yeah, he has a feat. I think it's I don't know what it's called, but he gives you a pep
Leadership.
talk for 10
Yes,
minutes, and
yes.
it's so inspiring
Yes.
that you can just, like, survive a lethal blow.
You get, like, you
Just
get a
through the
buff
power
from it.
of
Yes.
friendship.
You get a.
He literally uses the power of friendship.
Oh, Nikolai is so good. He played this week. Was it this week? Yeah. He played a chess game. And so there's a chess game in the manor that you can play, and there's rules with this chess game. Nikolai decided to play the game and risked losing all of his skills for 9 years, or could change his skill level to whatever he wanted it to be within 1 to 20 levels. And so there was a game that was played, and there was a, what do you guys call her? Evil Elena? Dark Elena.
I say Dark Elena.
The other one.
Dark Elena comes in when the chess game is played. And she was talking to Nikolai, and then Nikolai started hearing another voice and was asked like if he wanted to lose or wanted to win. Nikolai said that he would prefer not to lose. And the voice asked him, like, are you sure? Like, are you certain? And he's like, well, yeah. And so the opponent forfeited. So Nikolai did win. And Nikolai took 18, I believe it was like 18 levels in Fighter. And then as a joke, I was like, oh, I'll take a level in Warlock. And then it just escalated into like, yes. And like, oh yeah, no, this is actually, yes, you should. You definitely need to. Like, and he has no idea who his patron is. He doesn't really know that he has these powers. He thinks the manor is just giving him powers.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can be made from the manor. Like, he got a bunch of wood and nails and hammer supplies to build this post office that he made this week. And he just assumes that the manor can just do anything. And the post office is, he sends things through blenders, which, Nikolai, if you're listening, I was very tempted to just not have it work at all, that you're just shredding these people's letters. But I was like, nah, that's not cool. We're gonna go ahead and have it work that way. And it's really cool flavor to have a letter sent via a blender.
Mm-hmm.
Or a package. It doesn't have to be crumpled up or destroyed. There's different options.
Right.
So yeah, come to the manor. Meet some of our characters.
Manor, we have cookies, and I'm there.
There are cookies there, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Winston's currently there.
If you don't go there, then you'll never see me, so you should go there.
Yep. Sarant's there. I think, isn't Tox there right now?
Yeah, Toxidol's there. He's just kind of sleeping. The vampire dude's petting him, but
oh yeah,
you're not going to do
the vegetarian vamp.
You're not going to do the super secret thing with him. If he's only being petted, he has to be like petted right. He's got to be like, he's got to feel good. He's got to be comfortable, relaxed, okay.
Tox is great.
Tox is great. Tox or Nikolai?
What, a choice between?
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that I have to choose a favorite? Or you're just saying that
choose
you
a
like both of them?
preference. Choose a preference.
I have to go with Nikolai.
I understand that.
They're different. That's the thing. Like, playing Dino Puppy, absolutely adorable. Playing a character that is a himbo is incredibly hard to do and super entertaining to do. Like petting all the dinosaurs, and then what do we have in our quotes? We have like a whole channel. Well, now we have a whole channel assumed for Nikolai. Yeah, Nikolai, let's see. Nikolai is absolutely wearing wool and linen and immediately starts to sweat profusely once he enters Loxodol.
Yeah, Loxodol.
And then he was told he couldn't run in Loxodol. And then the fact that he will not be able to go running here genuinely distresses Nikolai. Perhaps they don't even have protein powder.
Oh gosh, he's great. For the record, he is allowed to run, but he's not allowed to go like light speed. He's not allowed to like barrel somebody. Like go at a speed of like injure someone speed. Injure someone's speed is really fast, so he shouldn't go that speed.
I believe they call that monk fast speed.
Monk fast. Yeah, you're not allowed to go monk fast.
Yeah, not monk fast.
Like barbarian fast at most.
That's not very fast.
And even then, like you're still pushing it.
Depends on the barbarian.
Like if you're going barbarian fast and like you hit someone, then you'll be held liable. But at least nobody's gonna stop you.
Had a barbarian rogue that could go 40 feet in one round versus, now Elena, she can only go 30 feet in a round, so you can go fast.
Yeah, but rogue fast is like super fast.
Rogues are so fast because they can bonus action, dash. Yeah, so yeah, come to the manor, meet some
and
people.
Yeah, monks are even faster than rogues.
Yep.
Yeah, I think monks are the fastest class in the game.
Cast some haste on them. Oh yeah.
Tabaxi monk can just exist wherever he wants. A Tabaxi monk is in a superposition where they're both everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
They exist and don't exist.
They're like an electron.
We also have the Black Star Tavern, Black Star Tavern, which that is run by another one of us who's not here tonight, but currently there's just not enough traffic in it right now, probably. As we
there's gotta be more traffic.
Yeah, as we get our server bigger, we're gonna probably, I don't know, we're gonna have to change stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to limit people, like join our Patreon, then you can be a part of our server if it gets that big, or certain Patreons now you're able to get into certain places even.
Yeah. Like I think we're gonna have Loxodol be a patron only place because the laws are super strict and some people.
That's a great idea. You want to start with
Yeah.
Loxodol? Loxodol is patron only. We can change that this week if you like.
I don't think we're there just yet, though.
Okay. Maybe not yet.
No, not quite yet.
That would be the first one, though. Probably. First to go. Yeah, so what happened this week in our server? I'm running an adventure. That's going on. So Ranth and Winston are up to who knows what still.
Yep.
When they go off and who knows what. Winston. Oh, poor freaking Winston. What happened outside the manor this week to you?
Winston worked on things. Winston is now working through some things.
I meant like right outside the manor.
Right outside the manor?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there were some spies that were looking for the monastery. Two of which looked, I'm guessing one of them was Winston and the other one was Zaranth, because one of them was a blue dragonborn child that would turn into a ghoul, and there was another human child with black hair that was a ghoul, and Winston had to quickly take care of them because they were scouts.
Scouts of whom?
I don't know, because all they said in their minds was find the monastery.
Oh, beautiful. That's not unnerving at all.
No, it's not. Which is why he had to take care of them quickly. Winston's had a rough week
Mhm.
of things that have happened on the server and out. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you gonna tell him about what Winston's doing or
nope,
what Winston has done?
I am not.
It's probably
At least not until it's done, right?
Yep, not until it's done. Not until it's done.
Speaking of, we should probably do that.
Hmm.
Anyways, we're getting off track here.
That's what we all always are. Where is the track? There is no track. We're beyond. We're in space. We're in the astral sea.
We're in the astral sea, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can confirm we are for the moment. But how long we'll be out here, who knows?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can I talk about my adventure that I'm currently running real quick?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Of course you can.
Okay. I don't know how to do these things, right? Like we haven't even discussed like designated time if people want to just talk. Like I don't want to talk the whole time. But
Nah, talking's fine.
Just interrupt me, please. Like if you're like, Elena, you're talking too much, shut up. Okay. like take it away. What do you want to talk about? You know?
I mean, the entire point of a podcast is to talk. So if we're trying to stop somebody from doing the talking, then there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just me, it's you guys. You're okay. All right. Ashok. A dusk
I keep
elf.
getting Ashok and Kagok mixed up, and it's fucking me up,
Oh
man.
no, really? Okay, I'm Ashok. And
Yeah, I know that now, but
okay.
when I heard Ashok, I'm like, oh yeah, so you're talking about the cool guy. You're talking about the lizard folk who smokes the pipe, or who smokes with the mansion and stuff.
Yeah, nope. We were talking about the dusky elf with white hair that carries a wrought iron scabbard that holds a great sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up, and we've got some new people in our server. We're just learning about them, which we try to do. We try to we've been doing this for a while, but we want to learn more about other people. Like we care about others. Like we wouldn't open this to the public if we only cared about our stories. So, like we genuinely need others to help us create our stories because it does get tiring. Like we don't want to have the same old things over and over. You know, like we want fresh, like new DMs in a way, new adventures and characters and ideas.
Yeah, plus like we can only come up with so many stories before we just start repeating ourselves.
I know, yeah. So I've been taking extra care with this particular story because I want to make sure that it's told correctly. There's some lore that I have bits of that I'm planning on using, and I want to make sure that I hit all of those check marks and really give the people on this adventure the experience, or those reading it, the experience of what I'm trying to get across. So I've taken my time describing this character, Ashok, who doesn't show. He's very formal, very soldier like mindset. You could say like yes sir, sir, yes sir. You know, kind of guy, and has met a life cleric who the player plays them as very dense, is what she said. You know, she's very naive. She hasn't had much experience in the world, or any experience in the world, and then gets hired to be a cleric in the Shadowfell to go kill and protect. She's not going to kill anyone, but like protect Ashok while he goes and helps retrieve someone on this expedition.
He's
Yeah.
a hired bodyguard.
like in a way, like he's hired her to keep him alive, and he's gonna keep her alive.
Like this wholesome pacifist.
Yes, very
Yeah.
wholesome, very naive, very like, I'll help you. She didn't even ask like what it was for. He just needed a cleric, and then Nikolai swoops in and is like, you should ask questions. Like, who is this guy? Where is he from? What's he doing? Who is he? What, Lena? What's all the details? And maybe he's taking advantage of you. Maybe you shouldn't do that.
That gives me a terrible idea, and it's amazing.
Well, yeah. So it's great. It's great though to see different people's characters played differently, where it's like, they're just, they as the player understand it's a bad idea, but they're playing their character how their character is, right? Like, we're trying to bring these people to life. Like, what would this real life person do if this is the only window that they've seen of the world? And really it's much darker than what they've seen. Yeah. So Ashok, the bonded son of the Iron Maker, has yelled at a life cleric, and she didn't like that. She got very hurt, and Nikolai's there. Oh man.
Turns out she can innately cast inflict wounds. She was never a life cleric to begin with.
She was a death cleric. Or a death note, whatever it's. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a quote-unquote life cleric because my teammates are terrible at staying alive and doing damage. I actually have to tell a story. I have to tell a story about that.
Tell it. Go for
server.
it. Oh, in the server.
No, in a different server. It's completely unrelated. Oh, can I go?
No, tell it. Yeah, tell it. Yeah, we're just talking.
So Nushinu,
Yeah.
Nushinu, this little kobold fella, she hasn't come into the server yet, unfortunately. She is adorable, and she is part of the party in another server. Now, we have... Who was it? We have, in that server, an armor artificer who is more defensive than offensive. We have our DPS ranger who is remarkably terrible at staying alive and is remarkably good at, getting killed. We have our wizard bard who is just a frail old man. We have our rogue, who is more utility than actual offense, and then we have the life cleric. So if you consider the fact that I have to be constantly heal-botting the ranger in order for him to not, die when being focus fired. Mm-hmm. And if he goes before me in initiative, we just instantly lose.
Oh no.
Well, it's not really instantly losing, but he's going to go down, and he'll have to spend his action. He'll have to spend his turn making a death save instead of me using my turn to heal him, which is unfortunate. In retrospect, I should be using held actions for that. But it's not my fault when he's like 30 feet in the air flying with no cover nearby and like being the only damage output.
Is this the cover guy? This is the guy that refuses to hide.
Yeah, he's the guy that refuses to use cover and gets mad when he is like in the most hittable location and gets hit. I'm not clowning on him though. Like, he deals really good damage. But it does make my job a lot harder. So recently the DM approved me to respec the character because, let's be completely honest, I haven't played D&D for more than like 3 months or 6 months, just about that amount of time.
Wait, no.
And Nushinu, Yeah, I haven't been playing for very long.
Whoa! Welcome. That's dope.
And Nushi was in, and this was like the second campaign I ever joined. So Nushi was kind of just, I'm gonna make a cleric. I heard clerics are good at healing, and yeah, we're gonna do that. I wanted to play kobold. I wanted to play cleric. Boom, kobold cleric.
Perfect.
And I went from
There you
there.
go.
And despite the DM letting us have like stupid high stats, I still used ability score improvements, which makes me very upset, especially considering I didn't take up Warcaster. Despite someone else in the group who I actually like really respect, he said, "Yeah, you should take Warcaster." So I end up taking Warcaster in the respec, and then we end up fighting a monster bro. I think he was called Smiley. He was an eldritch abomination made by the BBEG corporate organization. I don't want to say corporation, but yeah, he was just an abomination. He ended up trying to like stab our ranger. He couldn't fly away because we were in an enclosed location, which was like the bane of his existence. So, and instead of like entering the room and using the wall as cover, he instead like made a hole in the wall and shot through there at disadvantage, which is concerning. And he tried to go over to stab it, and then I used Warcaster to cast like 5th level inflict wounds, deal like 40 damage.
Whoa. As Nushi
And then
Nushi did
yeah,
that?
as Nushi,
No.
I had one
Aw.
5th level spell slot, and it's going to go straight up this thing's ass.
You gotta bring Nushi in. People need to meet Nushi in the server. Like, people come. Come. You need to meet Nushi. The most terrified kobold.
Mhm.
I remember when I brought in the gnomes, and Nushi was like, nope. I'm not dealing with
Yeah,
those guys.
so in D&D lore, the
Oh
god of
yeah.
kobolds and the god of gnomes, I think it's like the god of kobolds has ordered the execution on site of all gnomes.
What?
So, and then the god of gnomes is like, well, fuck you. We're gonna order the execution on site of all kobolds. So the two groups just hate each other with a passion.
Mhm.
Like I think the holy symbol for the god of kobolds is like a skull of a gnome with a dagger through it.
Wow.
And yeah, Nushi, she fucking knows that. She has
Yep.
proficiency in religion,
Yep.
and she saw the gnome and was like, "I am not. No, 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 no,
I thought
no."
you just
Mhm.
knew what they were. I was like, yeah, that's what they are. Like, I didn't know about the lore. That's just like, this game is awesome because there's so many layers that you can take from so many different things, and you can just add in
Yeah,
your own.
she was very scared. She's always scared.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't really like people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's honestly kind of hilarious seeing Nushi casting spells as AOs. Like it no wait, she has Sentinel and Warcaster. Yeah, I remember that's what I put her feats as. So it ends up just me babysitting my other teammates, just like making sure that everything focuses on me and me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then the artificer, he's like, "Do not hurt the kobold," and like bless his heart.
I feel like every party that has a kobold is always like, protect the kobold.
Protect the kobold at all
Can't.
costs.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. I played an artificer kobold for 3 sessions. Hmm. Zoe Grumblemaster something. She had like another name. She's very superstitious. She had a list. And um her battle whatever, she used her flamethrower was a shrunken head that she used a gouge as her tool to undo the mouth of it and then open it and flamethrower. Maybe she'll come in. Maybe Zoe will come in at one point. Have a
Why'd you only play her for 3 sessions?
Oh,
Kobolds are great.
I left the campaign.
Oh,
Yeah,
tell us about that. Why'd you
that's
leave?
all. I actually left that so that I could do this. It was,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was a DM service that I had that I'd been using, that I used for Curse of Strahd, and I used for Raiders of the Lost Ark, or of the Elemental Temples. I guess we did like a crossover kind of thing. I paid a DM so that I could experience different modules, and then we were doing Witch Hunters of Ravenloft, and that was during the day on Thursdays, and I decided that I really liked doing what we were doing. That was like a month ago, and I was like, I want to make this a business, or I want to do this more somehow. So I quit. I was like, sorry guys, I'm out.
Man, now you're making me want to play Kobold Artificer.
She was great. She has white scales, and she had a lucky cloak that
I want to pet her.
Had the choices, so had the concentration ability or whatever in it. So
Mind Sharpener is so unreasonably good for artificers.
Yeah, that you can have just like at a level, like
especially for non-artillerists. Like artillerists get shields, so they have to actually use brain cells to decide if they should shield or Mind Sharpener. The answer is probably Mind Sharpener, but oh man, but if you're not an artificer, like your reaction is just for using Mind Sharpener and nothing else.
If I bring her in, it's going to be much later. I have too many characters. Like I just got Elena back, and I'm running the whole thing with Ashok and Adoran, and now we've got Mortem and Karog there. I don't know. I can't pronounce names.
Kagok.
Thank you. There you go. See, I just suck at the names. And then the girl's name is.
That one I'm not 100% sure.
Amuhia, I think it is.
Amuhia.
Yeah.
Amuhia.
Just say it. Yeah.
Amuhia.
Amuhia.
It's one of them.
Or Amu for short. Yeah. Oh man. She tries using nicknames. I don't know if you guys read that chat, but it's been really fun to describe this adventure so far. Because you guys know a little bit more than anybody about this race, at least, and Ashok for sure. Yep.
I think Winston's met them a few times, but it's never been long enough to have like a good conversation.
Yeah, no, Winston.
What race are you talking about?
The Shadarkai are friends. Do you remember in the Black Star Tavern server? Remember the twins that fought and stuff? And your Frey Mantis dude used a wish to bring.
Oh yes, them.
Yeah.
IOG.
Yeah. Yeah. Ashok was one of them. Remember? That's Ashok.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Ashok.
Okay. So something funny about IOG.
Oh yeah.
The ring. She was a genie warlock, right? The ring was her kind of vessel, right? And then he took it with him when he went back home. So she's just kind of stuck there.
Yeah, no, she actually. Oh, frick. Yeah, Mortem. Yeah, you've got.
She has to cast like teleport.
Okay.
She has to like wish. She has to like wish substitute teleport in order to get home.
Okay. Ashok's brother, went on that train ride, and then we dropped that storyline but he totally has the ring that has Saran's character in it. So you have 2 characters to help create this story. Oh gosh.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about what happened on that train.
Maybe we should talk about it.
You just kind of kidnapped her. Are you just gonna overlook that? You kidnapped her.
She dropped into. Oh yeah, no, she was on the bar table. I remember that. Like dropped into the ring, and so he just picks it up and takes it with him, and leaves and gets on this train.
Yep, because he had to do it because he had to be on time because of what my character was saying at the time. I don't remember what their name was at the moment, but I remember them being like a halfling, I think.
Does Kashok still have the ring?
So this is Ashok's brother who has no name.
Okay.
Has no name, and didn't get one. And yeah, he still got the ring. He was gonna jump off the train, and I realized that it was gonna be with the ring. And I was like,
well,
oh no.
Yeah, because I had a NPC that was running at the time of just like a little baby shark thing. I was just like, no,
right.
Don't jump off the train. You got stuff to do, and yeah, we should probably talk about things that happened on that train.
Yeah, that would be best to do. Yeah, we can do that. We can message each other.
That would be preferable.
It's going to happen. Yeah, because that's important. You guys changing stuff up. It's awesome. That's the point. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Anyone that wants to come into this server, we don't have like an end goal that we want our characters to absolutely do that we don't want to interact with others. Like it's not like that at all. We want to interact with others.
Yeah, like this isn't a campaign where the goal is to like kill the bad guy, or
no,
or like accrue enough money to buy the cure for your terminally ill mother.
Yeah,
like. No, like this isn't a campaign. It has no specific goal. We're just having fun. You can create little mini goals. Like I remember Kagok's character. He orchestrated a little run-in with some thugs in Loxville.
Yeah.
Yeah, that resulted in the death of the quote-unquote death of a PC and all the thugs in like a round and a half.
Yep.
Like, yeah, the reason for that was the weapons they were using were illegal. They were only to be used by military and police personnel. So if anybody has them, they either stole them or bought it off the black market. So they're not okay. You're able to have small arms though.
I remember that as soon as like somebody like I think it was one of our PCs got killed, he all of a sudden was like, "What?" It's like, "Welcome to Loxodol."
Yeah.
This is why Winston was telling you to lay low, baby. Don't juggle like smoke bombs. You know, like what are you doing?
Yeah, don't juggle smoke bombs. You're not gonna have a good time.
Yeah. It's going to be a bad day.
Someone might even say you'll have a bad time, if I may be so bold.
Yeah, it's not a good time to do anything remotely dangerous in Loxodol.
Yeah, there's a new
you could do dangerous things. Just like don't expect law enforcement to be happy.
Or don't get caught.
Oh yeah, don't get caught either.
Don't get caught.
Yeah.
You're probably going to get caught, but just don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a plan?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And if you do get caught, just die. Don't go to jail. Just die.
Well.
Oh yeah. So a little thing that I'm kind of upset about is Nation States, which is the game that I use to run Loxodol. You have like the policies, and you can only interact with your policies via certain issues, and one of them created the no prison policy. They created the no prison policy and combined with the capital punishment policy. I'm like, no, that's not how I want this to go. Loxodol still has prison. You don't want to go
There's
there,
other, yeah, there's you can pay to, yeah. Oh gosh. Oh man,
You
I
don't.
was so scared when Leora was trapped by you guys. Like,
You don't want to go there.
no.
Like, I am going to be a lot more lenient for PCs, but like generally they just see somebody they don't like and then just get hyper focused on it.
Yep, which is why it's illegal to breathe in Loxodol.
Yeah, it's illegal to breathe in Loxodol. I think I mentioned this once on the podcast before, but for the people in the back, it's illegal to breathe in Loxodol, so don't try it. If in all seriousness, it's not actually enforced. So if a cop sees you breathe, like, you're not going to instantly die. You're not going to be put to death on the spot. But
if they don't like you,
yeah, if they don't like you, they just charge you for breathing, and then you get put to death because the punishment for breathing is the death penalty. And it also adds up to a lot of gambling. My favorite fucking part about Loxodol is how the legal system is tied into gambling.
Okay, out of character, I don't think Elena would do this. I want to do this. I want to find out what those keys are in the elevator that turn. You need like 2 keys to turn it to get to like a certain floor. Like, I want to know.
Oh yeah, I'm totally willing to tell you. Like,
no, because I want to.
Because one of us might find out sooner than later.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that's
right.
the thing. Like, Loxodol people, you gotta come. There's a mystery. You can't just tell you what our stuff does. Like we want people to experience it.
I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah,
yes,
fine. I won't tell you.
It's amazing. That's what it is.
It's amazing. You want to go there. Use the key. Pick the lock.
Because it's forbidden.
Pick the lock. I dare you. I double dare you. I double dare you.
I'll bring in
Pick the lock.
I'll bring Alistar back. I'll have him do it. So I don't have to worry about him.
Alistar would love Loxodol.
Yeah, he would. I want him to. I have too many characters. I need to not. But I love them all.
You needed to commence the culling.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard when I'm having a heart-to-heart in one, and then the other one I'm like this terrible DM that's like, bringing in ghoul children or whatever, So it's like it does a little bit of a disservice to everyone involved because it's like, who are you? What is going on here? I don't know. Like, it's not all focused. I'd prefer it to just be one chat at a time, but sometimes it just lines up that way. People are all online at the same time, and it's like, hey, I need you to play Wrath and Elena and Ashok and,
You have to play everybody simultaneously, and if you don't, you are executed for insubordination.
Man, this server has helped me be a better DM though, for sure. Like, it's helped encourage me to try.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Try things and be like, all right, we're gonna do some rolls. We're not gonna fudge these numbers. We're gonna see what happens. And yeah, like, there were some interesting rolls today, so I was excited.
What are your guys' opinions on fudging rolls?
It depends on what you're trying to get across. I don't know, because
here's
in my opinion.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Since I haven't talked much, my kind of thing on that is, because I know some of my players will probably listen to this. I don't know if they'll get this far, but we'll see. It's always goes with the story. If it makes more sense story-wise for one thing to happen, then yeah. But if it's one of those do or die moments, then it has to go with whatever the dice says.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like if you fudge a number, it's got to be for a really good reason. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be you've rolled it and you're like, this feels wrong, and you're going to change it. Like, that's the only case, that I would feel it's just like, no, like, I don't want this to happen. Like, I know, Zaranth, you don't like your characters dying all the way, right? So you could fudge it if you wanted. If that was something that you or your DM agreed to, like, that would be I don't know, regarding that, I guess, right? Like, I don't know. What are your opinions, Saranth?
I kind of agree with that. I really don't like it when my characters die, so I feel like I could. So, if it were a situation where they were supposed to die, then the DM could fudge the roll and then tell me your character would have died, and then I say thank you for not. I'm going to retire them this time. Like, I'm totally fine to have my characters leave the campaign, but I just don't want them to die.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm like, I need to do that in some other campaigns. I have done that in some campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I started out as a DM, I did fudge numbers, but that was because I didn't balance the game very well, so they just
Oh yeah,
steamrolled by
that's
bad guys.
another
So I
Mhm.
was
that's
like,
another reason why I would be totally down with somebody fudging rolls, is just making the game more fun.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you accidentally made an encounter like stupid easy, or if you accidentally made an encounter like dummy hard, like it was a genuine mistake, you haven't been doing this for like a while, like it's a genuine mistake, then I'd be totally fine if you fudged rolls so that it would be more fun. Like, the weaker enemies hit more often, or the stronger enemies don't hit that often,
Mm-hmm.
or when they do hit, they deal less damage than they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, if you took the damage rolls of a super strong enemy and then reduced it all by 5, then the players wouldn't notice a thing. To all they would know, you just changed the stat sheet to decrease the damage die by 1d10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all that they would be able to discern by taking average. Like, I know that in some really try-hard moments, I would try to piece out the stat sheet by using the numbers that the DM gives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, you take 28 damage, and then I would write that down. And then the next time somebody takes damage, it'd be like, you take 25. And then eventually I would get a good idea of the damage die, and I would tell people, like, yeah, you have a 66% chance of dying if you don't retreat now, or yeah, you have a 95% chance of staying alive if you were to not retreat. And I don't know if that counts as metagaming or not. Like, it's using all in character information. I'm not like PMing the DM and saying, "Hey, give me the stat sheet."
Yeah, that's the
I'm
thing
not like,
though, is like sometimes like it's hard to be like, I'm not gonna meta, but we are metaing. We understand it's a game, right? Like, already we understand that this is not real and we can change things, and yeah. So yeah, finding that line is hard sometimes. Like, if I don't have a character
yeah,
sheet and I'm like, oh, they're lying, what mod do I want to add? It would actually make more sense if mods were higher based on what lie, for example, they were telling, if they've told that lie all the time, right? Versus maybe
yeah,
a new lie that's like, oh, like, what'd you do today? Nothing, it's like, so
Mhm.
versus
yeah,
like someone who's, lied like, oh, my dad's dead, like, he's really not, or, something like that, where they would just be better at telling a lie or a certain thing, a
yeah,
different skill based on how many times they've done it. So
yeah. Like, rolling deception for saying, "How are you today?" and then you say, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like, that's never gonna work.
yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
DC's 40 for that.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, there's certain things, and I know, Mortem, you do this sometimes. You're like, hey, you can roll insight at any time on this character for these different things. You know, so like we play it where it's like you can try to find out if you want to. You're not like no one person is the DM. Like we might run certain adventures and certain people play like certain NPCs that are attacking, but if we have like a question or something comes up, it's like, hey, what about this? It's like, oh, we help each other find out the rule or how we want to rule it.
Yeah, well, because like a lot of the characters that I will play and NPCs that I will play will lie and will say things convincingly. But it's your guy. It's the player's kind of, I guess, duty, or if they want to figure it out whether or not some character's lying about one thing versus the other, or
It's beneficial for them to sniff out lies. And then it turns out the entire party dumped wisdom, and then you have to start letting your roll.
Never dump wisdom.
I love that.
Never dump wisdom.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's not always that like they're lying, I'll say. It's like sometimes they're just like trying to hide emotions. Because I know some characters that I have played have tried to hide what they're actually saying or what they're actually feeling versus what they're saying. So.
Yep.
Right.
I feel like we need like a Q&A. We need people to like ask us questions. Yo, we've got a person who's listening. Hello, welcome. Yay. Someone is listening.
That is just Mortem on an alt account.
Dang
Nope,
it.
it's not. It's not me. I can tell you right now it's not me. I'm working on a few Winston's working on a few projects at the moment, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, quote unquote working on quote unquote a few projects.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely not doing animal testing.
What?
Definitely not trying to rob a bank.
No.
Definitely not doing a Hitman style robbery. Hitman style. I'm trying to speak funny, but I can't speak funny.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. One of these days, I think it's part of our Patreon on the 3rd tier. It's not a cult. That we're gonna do. What was it? I think that you wanted to have us do like bi-weekly podcasts, like Ask Us Anything.
Yeah.
Dude, AMAs are awesome.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I ever did stream alone and there was going to be like a long moment of just not really doing much, I would always just say, all right, Q&A time, as we're like grinding on, I don't know, Minecraft or doing something just boring.
Yep.
Or trying to get mod lists in order.
Trying to think what questions we could ask. Just do the whole never have I ever game, right? Like just whip that out.
Yeah, we could do that.
Whip that out. Saran, I remember playing that first time.
Yeah, playing Never Have I Ever with Srant is really hard because like I have to come up with things that don't make me sound like a gig asshole. Like, oh yes, never have I ever had enough money to fill the entire Philippines.
Have I ever been poor?
Never have I ever been poor.
That's right. Be like, well, everybody drinks except for you. Where did your character names come from? Ooh, okay, that's a good question.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So
can everyone
I actually
speak about this? Yeah, Zarantha, you go first.
I have a really good answer, and the answer is plagiarism. So
no.
I play a game called Stellaris, and my profile picture is Reptilian16, aka the Pricky QT, or the Pricky species in Stellaris. My username on Discord is Pricky, which is the name of a pre-generated empire called the Pricky QT, and the species is the Pricky. Hoxadal is the name of a name that can be randomly generated as a leader for the Reptilian 4 name list. Nushinu is in the same name list.
Oh man.
Let's see. Who else exists?
Where's Saranth?
Kenley.
Oh.
Saranth is actually slightly less plagiarism, but more egregious. So I have a mod for Stellaris called Expanded Name Lists that expands the name lists. And Saranth is, I think, an altered name of a planet, a randomly generated planet name.
Ooh.
And it's just slightly different.
It's a cool name.
It is a cool name. Saranth is awesome.
It is awesome. Saranth is awesome.
Loxodal is just I can't remember if Loxodal is the name. Yeah, Loxodal is the name of a leader in Reptilian 4.
Nice.
There are other name lists, but I don't think you got. Oh yeah, IOG actually came from Arthropoid name list. There are other name lists, but I don't think like they're wild, man. I need to bring in more characters with those name lists and watch everybody just like spontaneously ignite trying to pronounce the names.
Mm-hmm. It's the great thing about text-based games. You don't have to pronounce it out loud at a table. You can just write it. And even still, I suck at like writing the names. You know, like Nikolai ends in an AI, and then Amuhia, whatever her name is, ends in an IA. And so I'm like typing these when I just like, oh, okay, we're gonna have her name change so I can read it every time.
Just like, nope, it's Amuhe now.
And I can't nickname her because I can't.
Oh well.
Not until I get Elena in there. Elena means harmony. Sort of, I guess. There's different spellings of Elena, and I wanted a character that was about harmony and looked like, tried looking that up, was like, what words, like what name means harmony? And the first one is Elena, but spelled Alaine, I believe, or whatever. And I was like, do I want to do this name? Because a lot of what goes on and how I play is similar to one of the shows that I've seen called Vampire Diaries, and her name is Elena, and I didn't want to rip that story off at all. But I eventually settled on it, and I was like, nope, this is gonna be her name, and because it means harmony. And she goes by Allie. That's all I'll say about those names. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll start with Winston because Winston, well, the way that Winston originally entered was just by something I just decided to ad lib at the moment. And then Winston, that Winston's name just came into existence, and then I worked on it from there. Mortem, I figured out more recently why he has that name.
I haven't asked you yet, Mortem.
Nope.
Been meaning to.
Nope. Nobody's asked him why. And the one person that he would answer hasn't asked him yet either. So, he, I don't remember where I got hit. Well, because originally he was, well, I guess that'll be revealed in the story as well.
You don't have to say it. You can just say.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that there's anything I can reveal. Well, all you need to know right now is that mortem is short for, I guess, mortality, I guess. And that's where I got his name
Really?
from.
It's not from
His fir-
Latin, from mortem?
his Yeah, well, I got it from mortality is what I got, and I just shortened it, and then that's why he has that name. Now, the in-character reason why he has that name is totally different.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
my parents thought it was a cool name, so that's why.
okay. Totally,
Mhm.
that's right. I was named this? Yep, yep. Names are cool. Character names come from. Wrath was picked by you, Mortem, so I didn't pick that name.
Mhm.
Ashok didn't pick that name. Alistar obviously didn't pick that name. Hmm.
Wreckage and Maddie, I both picked their names. I can go over both of them real quick since they're more of NPCs. Wreckage is a Warforged druid. Um, Circle of the Moon, which, if you know, basically that means he can wild shape or turn into animals as much as he wants. But he's also a robot, so he transforms all the time. So I gave him a name similar to that franchise. Um, that's where
He's a
his
good
name.
druid.
Mhm.
It's perfect. I
Yep.
appreciate that you keep him like metal animals because I felt that was like appropriate. I had a campaign of Warforged polymorphed, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh well, now he's metal. He's a metal gorilla or
Yeah, I
metal
I really like
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I really like that touch.
Mhm. Yep. And then Maddie, I believe I just came up with on the spot at that point. Um,
Oh yeah, I come up with a lot of names on the spot. I remember the
Ixar.
Abishai that Bert, yeah, Ixar I came up with on the spot because there was a campaign that I was in the past. There was a lizard race called the Ixar, and I was like, you know what? Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he took the name of another lizard race from another piece of media. So yay for secondhand plagiarism,
I mean,
plagiarizing the plagiarism.
D&D is you see other people do stuff and you're like, I really like that, and then you make it your own. You know.
Right. Tig was another name of a Abishai. That's actually a name of another character that you guys might meet soon if you actually went in the right direction.
I
I'm
think
really excited to bring him in, but
I was gonna say I think Mortem met another one besides Ixcar before
oh
because
yeah,
that's when he got.
Suran.
Yep, that's when he got his current mask.
Oh, that one was unnamed. Suran was with Crusader when he was trying to steal something with Gorm. Giant said, "Yeah,
Okay.
if you give me some money, I'll give you an Abishai companion. That'll be black. Black are cool. They're also stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I love Black Abishai, man. Like they're able to cast darkness once per day innately, and they can move it 60 feet as a bonus action. It is amazing,
That is so cool.
and they have Devil Sight, so
Mhm.
Abishai are awesome, man.
I remember Ixar and Elena had a 16-hour day together.
Really? When did they
Once
do that?
she needed a spell. She needed a certain spell, and Ixar had it. And so they went to the inn, they met up, and she's like, I'll pay you, or paid Zaranth or something. Oh no, Zaranth was like, I don't know what spell you're talking about, Elena.
Oh yeah, like I
uh,
think it was Clone or
yeah.
Simulacrum that you were talking about.
Yeah, yep. And it needed to be transcribed for 12 hours. So it was like, all
Uh,
right, come upstairs with me. And Ixar was like, okay. And it was like, no. It was fun.
I know.
Everyone was
Keep your
like,
pants on.
"What are you guys doing?" It was like, "I'm getting a spell." Like, sorry.
Yeah, you're doing a spell, huh?
Yeah.
And what kind of spell? Replicate human?
Yeah, I love that we're making a story as if like we're living these lives in a way, right? It's like it's happening right now. Like
Right.
the clock is ticking based on our time, not the game's time. Except,
Right.
obviously there's initiative and stuff, but like
Yeah, time slows down during initiative, as it should.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or it turns into an anime
that-
where there's like, huge wall of text in a
So that-
6-second window.
Yeah.
Which just happened because, someone will be offline and they're next.
Turns out oh my gosh. A campaign where something where initiative is in real time would be amazing. Like
Like the DM has like a timer that actually was like click, 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 and done. Click, click.
No, I'm talking about like a play-by-post where like what's actually happening if somebody has to go to sleep is like the combatants, they just kind of stand there just silently glaring at each other until they wake up. They're like, oh yeah, hold on, I cast a magic missile, and then they beat each other to
I
death.
like that idea. I've been waiting 10 hours.
It's so delightfully stupid.
There's an idea. I like that. You have that in the adventures chat.
It sounds just like LARP to me.
Yeah, it's not a practical idea. It's not going to be interesting, but it's fun to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing a suggestion at some point where like the DM could have a monster that their initiative is based on real time, whereas everyone else has to go in initiative order. So like once every minute or so, they take their turn, and the players have to like scramble to do things.
Oh, in real. That's cool. So like you'd have a timer
Yeah.
and be like, "This is how this is gonna work, guys. You better know what you're gonna do." Like.
Yeah, I feel like that's just a hard counter for that one party member that's just like they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which is me, let's be
Magic
honest.
missile. You better roll. Oh, time's up. Look, a legendary action.
Yeah, whenever I play Toxidol, it's in a heavily homebrewed setting, so I have a ton of freaking options. I actually have a story about that. So I have like a ton of different actions and a ton of different bonus actions and a ton of actions and bonus actions that limit me from choosing other actions and bonus actions. So I end up having to like think several turns in advance so that I don't like cuck myself out of the right move because I used a specific move. And then they're set up. Like you wouldn't expect a raging Toxidol to do anything except for just bite things, but no, he can do a lot. So if there's time for that, I could tell the full Nate story. So,
ooh, you got a question in: homebrew or modules?
Homebrew, like it's just
Homebrew all
really
the way.
homebrew.
Homebrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homebrew brings in stuff that's fresh, and I've realized that over this last week that I really appreciate the being a DM, at least having stuff that what your players know because you've told them what they need to know. So they can't just be like, "Oh, I understand how Eberron works." It's like, no, like they know what you are giving them, and it's like, a mystery. It's better.
It's also really hard for like some cringe ass cheater to just go online and then just look things up. Like, oh yeah, so this person's actually the BBG in disguise, so we're gonna kill them while they are really weak. And then the entire campaign gets either derailed or just like ruined, and then like, what are you doing? But with homebrew, you can just create these plot twists at will. Plus, you don't really have to have a campaign plan. You could just like do things as they come along, which is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you how many times they just kind of crapped out something. Oh yeah, like the zoo. Like pretty much everything in the zoo is just like, oh yeah, you want to go that way? It's being procedurally generated.
With a module too, you kind of are stressed all the time that you have to do something a certain way, and you have to like meet these quotas and get the party, like the party has to go here. So how am I going to get them to go here? But if it's homebrew, you can choose to like, let back a little bit, and you can just be like, all right, what do you guys do? But as the DM, you can still know what the baddies are doing. So if they decide not to go on this quest that you've laid out or whatever, the world will be affected by that. Like, oh, well, someone would have saved them, but no one saved the world, so, now the world's on fire.
That chaotic, stupid party that's supposed to save the world, but like ends up going on a whole side quest to just collect cheese.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
It's like me in Skyrim. I always have just an inventory full of junk, and if I don't have like a good supply of bowls and like handled buckets and non-handled buckets, and I just don't do things because I might get stuck in my like 2,000 mods. And then when I realize that I don't have something, then I realize that I don't have something else. And as I get it, I realize that I need something else. And then I just end up not playing the game so that I can prepare to play the game.
Mortem, you definitely don't like homebrew. Not at all. You hate,
oh, no. Yeah, homebrew. I hate homebrew so much. It's not like Winston is like level 35 or anything.
Why don't you like homebrew?
It was a joke. I'm using my sarcastic voice.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
No,
I could like put the sarcastic emoji just like every time I'd say something like that on top of Mask, I would.
Yeah, we need to flush out your stuff so that we can one, it's got to get hashed out.
Yeah. I'm working on it for the Patreon.
Yeah, we got to get out these Patreon. Okay, so like thinking of next projects, because we just got this big project out. Woo, we did it. And it's like tomorrow I'm taking the day off sort of from working so I can play and wrap up the Ashok story a little bit. Okay. But then it's like, okay, what project do we want to do next? Like I could make the all this like alchemy circles, like I could do that, which would be so cool. And I just imagine it being so pleasing to the eyes that I just want to make them, to get them out there to sell them.
They could be really interesting for like assets in Roll20 as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I know Mortem is in a. I know Mortem is in a Roll20 campaign because I'm in that campaign.
Yeah.
I feel like having those alchemy circles is like.
Okay, just slight spoiler for that campaign, depending on how far it goes, because it is possible for your character to learn alchemy. You just have to figure out who knows it.
Oh no!
Halfling.
No! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Why not? Why don't you think a narcoleptic?
Who you're gonna learn it from is what I'm worried about.
A narcoleptic needs to know alchemy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be halfway
no.
through and then just like fall freaking unconscious and then accidentally summon a demon.
Totally.
Like in that one clip you sent. Like he's gonna black out and the next thing he knows he's like missing his leg and there's an abomination in front of him. Like
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Oh gosh.
That scene from
Man.
that one show.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's totally not based on anything that we do in this.
Nope.
Not even a little bit. Oh
Man,
gosh.
was that really sugar?
Huh?
I was joking.
Yeah, so what do we want to do next? What big projects do we want to do? Mortimer, you're gonna be, I don't know, if you want to help me edit the script is the word. If you want to help edit the story.
Yeah, I think we need to like work on, I want to say episode 1 of like story,
Mhm.
but to get there we need to work on editing the script first.
Yeah, luckily the intro's not too bad. It's just, it was, I was looking through it. It like, I entered the inn and it literally exploded the day that I came back, that I was Elena, and it just exploded. There were people, I remember, because we were trying to tend the bar together and there were way more people than normal, and we were trying to like help each other like get drinks, and I was trying not to talk to anybody, you know, because I was like, don't talk to me right now. And then after that it turned into this humongous like explosion for months.
Yeah.
Months. Like I have like a 300-page document of just like 2 days. Guys, like it's like, how are we gonna get through May alone? Like we're in September. We're never gonna get this story out there. You just gotta jump on the ship now. Like but I want to get it out there somehow. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think we'll have to cut probably a lot of content.
Yeah.
Or from episode to episode, just because we cannot fit all of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much. Like just to like do a small comparison of like content, like how much content we're gonna have to cut. Like is like Critical Role, like the animated show that they're doing. They only have like a season or 2 at the moment, and that's only going to be like a total of probably like around 26 episodes. That's like hundreds of hours of like actual D&D content and videos that are uploaded that they have to sift through and figure out what they're going to animate instead. So
yeah. And we easily have, I'm going to say easily, we easily have more content than Critical Role because we've literally been playing the game every day for this long, rather than it being like once a week, you know, for 4 hours on end or whatever. Like we play so much, and then so many people come in. We'll figure it out.
yeah.
Do you guys want that to be the next step though? Like, do we want, because I can, like, I'm going to be the artist and I'm going to be the recording editor. And I just don't want to, I don't know, like I want to start something that we can get out there. And I'm cool with whatever that's going to be. I just need help picking it because honestly, like my brain cannot function. Like I need direction. I need your guys' help to direct it because I have creativity. I just need to use it properly.
Yeah, I think we all need to, maybe not on podcast right now, but we all need to discuss like what story beats we need to, as we're going through it and deciding what to cut and whatnot, because there's also like a lot of like filler stuff and side episodes and all these other things that we don't need.
Mhm.
Right.
There's so much though at the beginning, at least my beginning, once I came in, that was so important because
Oh yeah.
like I came in and then it was like we became like all of us became friends and then like the next day like the explosion in the monastery happened. And then like the next day the divine intervention happened, and then like the next day like there was a gate opened in the monastery. Like there was stuff that kept happening over and over and it was like, oh, like we can't cut that out because it's so vital to
Yeah.
everything that happens afterwards. So it's like we can cut out some stuff, but in a way it's like, should we? Like there's so much heart here and
Yeah. Well,
we'll figure it
that's
out.
what we're going to have to figure out is what we could cut, what we're going to put in one area, and what we might need to put behind a paywall or something like that, or Patreon.
Yeah.
Be like, just like here, if you want every single detail, here it is, but you're going to have to read it because we don't have the time to do the super high production stuff of it
That's a good point.
as high as we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. That's a
So,
good point. The highest Patreon would get the full story
mhm.
because it's so good, guys. Like you want the full story. You want the full story.
Yeah. So
It's
we're working on it.
Yeah.
What we really need to do is have some sort of meeting of this is what we need to do story wise, and this is what we want to do, and what we want to tell, and whatnot.
Yeah. It's been months. So like there's certain moments that like we just forget about, right? Like
Yeah.
So many things that happen with talks early on that we don't like get to till later. But if we don't have those early moments, like oh the headband, oh my gosh. Like
Yes, the
talk to
headband.
that
Yeah.
Mortem, why
That
did
was,
you do that? Why did you do
that
that?
was such a bad idea.
You did it and then you left him there. And Elena, I
Yeah,
had
like,
to figure it out and be like, what is going on with my best friend? Like,
and then there was even like the freaking eldritch tentacles handing out for it, like begging you to give it to him, and like I felt like that was just a big red flag.
Oh man. And then he was heartless. Oh my gosh. Like you're able to write, and that's another cool thing is just like we're able to write so differently. Like I feel that people are going to connect with our stories because they're not going to see it as like, oh, this person is the same character no matter who they play. They're going to see it as, oh my gosh, right, I have to remember that Sarantha also plays Tox. Like what? Like they're so different.
Right.
Yeah, even the twins are decently different as well. It's like there are definitely similarities between them because one, they're twins, and two, because I play them. But still, there's Winston, as it's been described before, is a handsome devil. Um, but he's also a dick, and he knows it, and he's okay with that. And then Mortem is just very, very nice person who's trying to do the best he can as an old war veteran, basically, who's not actually that old.
Yeah, and what's also cool, just as like a writer standpoint, that we're able to create a story that we couldn't do on our own. Like, there's no way that I could have come up with Sranth, like, and what you do and the words that you have him say and how he does things, or or how Mortem and Winston, like their relationship works, and like how they, they talk a lot or they go do stuff, and it's just like, oh man, it's so cool, you know.
Well, I'm glad you like him. He's my baby.
I like all of them. They're all awesome. Like the whole point is like this is a unique story, and I love what it's turned into, which is why I play. It's why I lose sleep over this amazing game because I love it. I love it so much.
I just like Toxidol.
Just Toxel. You don't like Elena. I see how it is.
Toxidol and Strength are like
How
S tier,
dare you?
and everyone else is F
Whoa.
tier.
Wow.
Winston
Except
would
Nushi. Nushi
highly
is like A
disagree
tier.
with that.
Nushi's A tier. Actually, no, she's S tier. She belongs in it.
Who's S tier?
Toxidol and Strength and Nushi. Nobody else.
Nushi. Oh, wow. Yeah.
I actually have. I think in the campaign, Nushi's in it. She's like level 10, I think. But I actually have her buffed here to level 12 because I want her to know. I want her to know the spell Word of Recall because that is like her spell.
Is
I
Tox
love Word
from
of Recall.
Loxodol? Great question, because Toxidol and
No.
Loxodol are spelled very similarly, and I thought the same thing.
Yeah, no. Toxidol actually came from a place called Denlupovoy, and you're gonna have to go there and find out what it is.
Oh, right, we haven't been there at all.
Nope.
Yeah, Denlupovoy.
Should we put Toxidol in Loxodol?
No.
Maybe.
That is a fat no.
Saranth would be like, banishment instantly. Like, no, nope.
I don't think he has the capability of using banishment anymore.
He could find somebody. He could pay them.
Yeah, he'd probably
Ixar,
just sending
Ixar.
He'd probably just call Ixar and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, yeah, we have a crisis. Please cast banishment."
Yes, it's so good.
And yeah, Toxidol, he just instantly fails. I don't think he'd even get a saving throw. It's so great looking at Toxidol's charisma saves. He just like poof, different dimension. There you go. Bye bye. Why is banishment a charisma save? Like banishment planar.
Well, the component for it is supposed to be something that is frightening to the or disgust. What is it? Something that
like
the person doesn't like. So you're supposed
anything that is offensive and involves the planes, such as like tying someone to a plane of existence. I know that there's a spell that does that, but it evades me. And banishment, they're both charisma saves for some reason.
Yeah, because it makes sense if you're seeing something that is super not that. Yeah.
Sure, there's a reason why Jeremy Crawford was just like, yeah, it's a charisma save. Why? I don't know.
What else would charisma
So
saves be used for,
afraid.
I guess?
Yeah.
But like wisdom, I feel like some things should be charisma saves and some things should be wisdom saves. I think that's already how it is, but I'm talking about like for spells. Like hold person, that could be a wisdom save, but like fear effects could be charisma saves.
So in
like
Pathfinder, they use a different system. They have fortitude, reflex, and will
fortitude,
saves.
reflex, and wills.
So your will is based on anything that's like mind affecting, anything that's
right?
Mind affecting, and then fortitude's like your constitution, basically, how well you can handle something. Yeah. So just depends on what magic system you want to use.
Yeah, but this is 5e. I don't know why 5e is a thing. Like everybody, like warlocks, they get charisma saving throw proficiency and wisdom saving throw proficiency, but everybody forgets that and like, oh yeah, they get wisdom saving throw proficiency. That's it.
Yes, item distasteful to the target is what it is, which I've had Elena use on people. I've had to think and be like, what is distasteful to this person right now?
Yeah, I remember when you tried to banish Saranth, you used a sapphire that was like horribly scratched and fake, like made of plastic, and like yeah, that would have worked 100 times over.
I was like, what
Don't
does
ruin
Saran
a
hate?
sapphire by making it out of plastic.
Yes, yep. I was like, it's gotta be a gem and it's gotta be a sapphire because he loves sapphires. Yep.
Gotta be a gem and it's gotta look ugly.
Yep. It's like grossly fake. Yep, I did that. And then with her first banishment that she used an angel feather. Because I think Liad had meant, well, I know what it was before, but yeah, there was a thing. And in another campaign too, I've had a character do that, where it was something very distasteful. And it's fun. Yeah.
I really like. I don't really like spellcasting focuses. Like, a druid just needs a stick, and then like all of their spells are at their disposal, minus like a very few. Like Druid Grove has a consumed component. The revival spells, they have a consumed component. Identify doesn't allow a spellcasting focus, but like it's so boring. Plus, it makes like so many spells like immediately just less meaningful. Like, what are some spells? Fireball. Fireball is like the staple of offensive wizards. Like, it is great. Just such a big AoE, such a versatile AoE type. Spheres are just really good. Cylinders are also really good. Just because they're circles.
They just go around cover. Yes.
Yeah, circles are just good, and it deals respectable damage on top of that. But if it only requires a wizard to just have a stick or like a really shiny rock, and they could just cast Fireball, and that's dumb. Like, if somebody wants to cast Fireball, they gotta go to hell, get the sulfur, and they gotta go to the caves and get some bat shit, and then they can cast Fireball.
I remember the first time I had Elena cast, I cast Fireball as Elena was when Winston and Dante were eating fire, and maybe Zaranth was in on it too. And she was like up flying with Mortem, and I was like, hold on to me. And so then she could cast with both hands. And that was super fun to like describe that she, balled it up in her hands, and then she put like one hand up and one hand down, and then moved her arms like clockwise, and then cinders like started coming out and embers started to ignite. It was fun. It's just more fun. Like imagine if this was like a real magic thing in real life, right? Like, how would it look? What would it look like? And that's what I try to do. Like, I'll put in a plug. There's this show on Netflix, I believe it's called The Dragon Prince, that does magic that's so similar to D&D 5e. It's just like, oh my gosh, like they're using necromancy here. Like, this makes sense, And it's just like, I just appreciate it when there's like spells are supposed to have more than just an item that works, right? It's more than just a wand. Like, it's not Harry Potter, like it's like, how does this item that you have like work? Elena has gum that she gives people to turn invisible, but it's like specially imbued gum, or carrots are good for your eyes, like dark vision works now. And Yeah.
No, now that I think about it, I think Winston is the only one who really uses the arcane focus a little bit. It's like he still has a few things that he does components for, but for the spells that he does cast, it's mostly just his arcane focus.
Talesman, right?
Yeah, his talisman.
Mm-hmm.
Saranth technically needs an arcane focus, but he doesn't use one because it's lame.
Screw
Like he could just use his arcane firearm as a focus, and he does use it for some things, but that's lame, so I don't do it. Because I don't want like, oh yeah, I don't know what kind of spell he would cast. The arcane eye comes out of the Remington 870. Like, come on. Like, gun does not shoot drone. Doesn't work like that. So I have him use a little gadget, which would be Tinker's tools.
But what if drone did come out of a gun?
If drone came out of gun, then it would just be like poop, and then it's out. And it would have to have like the gun would have to have like a whole drum mag. It'd be full of like volatile components. Like it would have to be like inserted in it and then like activated with the hammer. That would be very strange.
What if it was more like a grenade launcher, where it got launched and then it exploded and then the drone popped out?
Ooh. But he uses it for, sneaky operations.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stealth this with my grenade launcher. Yeah, he used it in the adventure with Kagok in the Elemental Plane of Fire, if anybody read that.
Mm-hmm. So many
I have
rolls.
not had time yet.
Yeah, it's really just Saranth. It's really just Saranth bullies fire giants for 15 minutes. One of them just like rolled the nat 20, and Saranth just said, "Okay, it's your time to die." And then another one rolled a nat 20, and then he got mad at that, and then he just ended up killing them all. I need to actually play that out to see how injured he would be. I absolutely love the Dragon Fear feat. Like, he used it in that encounter, and it is so unreasonably good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fire giants don't have proficiency in wisdom saves, so they had a 90% chance to fail the save. They had to roll a 19 or a 20 to succeed.
Wow.
And if they fail to save once, they only get another opportunity if they take damage. So realistically, combined with Saranth's AC, the only real way for any of them to deal damage is to either fish for crits or try to take damage and make the save. That's super meta. Oh wait, no, they can't even do that. They can't approach him. I forgot about that.
Nope. Well, it was like there are other. It was like might for my home games. We'll see if it goes in the play by post. But the fight, turning fear into not just a flight, but also a fight mechanic as well, to where you can only fight and you can only get closer to your opponent and you cannot run away.
Right. I feel like that would actually be another interesting mechanic, like Enraged.
Mm-hmm.
It's different from Barbarian Rage, but like you can only choose offensive actions and you can only get closer to the target of your rage.
Well, Tox experienced that when I had him go through Pontia, and there was that giant creature in the water.
Yeah, I remember that.
You failed a save, and it was
I want
like,
to pet
attack
him.
it. I felt really bad. I was like, oh, he's just gonna want to love this thing. And then I looked at its stats and what it does, and I was like, nope, he cannot get close to this thing. And then you did, and it was like, oh no. It was like 4 or 5 rounds of you just
Yeah, 4 or 5
like
rounds of just this
attacking,
hummingbird.
and then it looking at you like, all right, I'm not gonna do anything. And then you failed again and was like, and it looked at you, nope, not gonna do anything. Like I was rolling to see if it would attack you, and finally it did. Get out of here, leave me alone.
This little hummingbird. He was wild shaped into a hummingbird at the time, so that he could actually fly close enough.
Yeah, because it was like sleeping 15 feet above the ground, above the water.
Yeah, I don't even know why I picked a hummingbird. That's really out of character for Tox.
For Tox. Just
yeah, like one thing, like he always just squishes people when he hugs them, because he likes to get real up close and personal. But he doesn't like shrink himself with wild shape or alter self, because size is everything, and yeah, he knows that, and Toxel doesn't want to get smaller because that makes him weaker.
Yeah.
And he wants to stay vigilant.
I remember
for danger.
This thing told Tox to stay away, like, don't bother me. You can be in the water, but like don't bother me and you'll be fine. And he's like, okay. And then goes over to try to sleep and fall asleep on this thing. And I was like, you wait, what? You just typed that, but like, really? Are you sure? It's like, yes. Like, okay. I need you to make a wisdom save.
I wasn't bothering him. I chose a hummingbird because it was like really small and it wouldn't affect him.
Yeah, totally. And then it was, well, you failed and you have to now roll a d4. Okay, you have to attack the thing. Pathfinder's got lots of great stuff.
Yeah, Pathfinder looks great. Plus, barbarians aren't just objectively really good. Like, you actually have a penalty to AC while raging. Do they even get resistance to damage while raging?
Yes, I do know that. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm not confident.
So, the way that my group has it, because we have a barbarian, it's different than 5e. You get like bonuses to your HP, but if you fall out of range and you've taken a certain amount of damage, you can die from falling out of rage because you've been injured too much.
Oh, right, yeah. So like the adrenaline keeps you alive.
Yeah, because you get HP, you get bonus HP, I think, and then you lose that when you're out of rage. So it's just gone, and so it takes you from where you were. Rage can kill you, basically. Like if you've taken enough, I think it's like if you even like a level 20 character, like if you get down to like 60 HP and you fall out of rage, then you just instantly die. Like I don't know, one of them calculated it out. So we play it where there's negative levels that you can go into. So we went like the opposite way, but I can't explain it, so I'm not gonna try. But yeah, Pathfinder's got crazy rules that are.
Yeah, the only reason I play 5e is because it was just the first one.
It's the most common. Yeah.
Why I mostly do 5e as well is just that's what I was introduced to, and now I'm looking at other stuff and thinking I would like to join a game to see what that's like, but we'll see.
Bring in a Pathfinder character to the server.
No, that was not how I got introduced to D&D. Nice try.
Yeah. Highly recommend Victorian, if you like Pathfinder. It's my favorite TTRPG. I can't speak. Someone wrote that. Victoriana. I've never heard of that. Good to know.
Yeah. So the way I got introduced.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Tell your story. How did you get into? How'd you get into the cult?
I was in ACTEC in high school, right? academic decathlon. It's basically just the nerd camp, the nerd club for the nerds to go to competition and see who's the biggest nerd. We were there. So the thing about ACTEC is that we're given a topic and a guidebook at the beginning of the year. And then we study the guidebook, which is about the topic. We study it for the semester. And then at the end of the first semester, we go to competition. And you're given questions based on what was on the guidebook. And whichever school answers the most correct will get participation. They will get rewards. They'll be good.
It's like knowledgeable.
So
I don't know if that was what
it's knowledgeable.
But yeah.
So I got on the team. We ended up placing 4th. I ended up placing 3rd in the district for mathematics, which was 1,000% wrong. I still have the false medal. It's right there. I'm looking at it, and I got 3rd place
The false
in
medal?
the district. Yeah, so it's a bit of an unrelated thing, but I'm pretty sure that I think that the rumor is that they used the wrong answer sheet. So the people who answered the most questions similar to that answer sheet ended up getting the best scores.
Oh, wow.
So you were just
That's funny.
closest.
Yeah, so despite me having never taken the class that I've never taken calculus or like advanced geometry. I think it was like just advanced geometry and trigonometry.
Yep.
Like trigonometry squared.
I love trig.
Despite me never having taken that class, I still placed 3rd, and I am not complaining.
That's awesome. So wait, how does that have to do with you getting introduced to D&D?
Oh yeah. So after the first semester, there's nothing to do. We're not given the new guidebook until the beginning of the next year, and there's still the entire second semester to go through. There's nothing to study, and there's no competition because competition's already over. So the period for ACTEC essentially, because instead of like an after school program, it was like an entire class kind of thing. We had the entire period to ourselves. We can do anything we want, and the teacher is super cool and super chill, and he let us do basically anything. So one kid, I actually tied with him for 3rd place in math. Like, we were going up and we were super confused. Like, what? Is this real? That's besides the point. He said, you know what? I have a player's handbook. Let's play D&D. And then like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, 5 other people said, yeah, sure, that's rad. And then me, I was like, I'm bored. This sounds D&D is cringe. I don't want to do that. But I got bored and said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. So I ended up playing as Druid the Druid.
First characters are so special, you know?
I know.
That you cannot replace that first character that you get.
I was Druid the Druid. I rolled really good for stats and put 15 in strength. It's just great, man.
It's fantastic.
So we ended up, the story goes on. We ended up having our first session. We were driving a cart, I believe, and then we saw like some dead guys or like a crashed cart, and we went to investigate. We came across a goblin cave with goblins. We ended up massacring the goblins. I had really low dex, or not really low. I only had like 12 dex, so I ended up getting beaten out in initiative by the rogues, or the one rogue. So I didn't really do anything until the end. And then at the end, there was like 2 wolves, 2 goblins, and a bugbear chilling around a fire. And then I was like, hey, you know, it would be a good idea. I'm going to sneak in there. I'm gonna get on top of the fire and I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Yes, the druid, a level 1 druid, the first thing he does is like, I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Did you die?
No, I did not die
That's
actually.
good.
We ended up casting the spell, but the 2 wolves, they died instantly. The goblins, I think one died and the other one was critically injured. And then the bugbear, he was pissed. He ended up spending his first turn just like raging about something. So we ended up doing the fight, and nobody took damage except for me, who took 1 damage because I was standing on the fire.
What?
It was awesome. So it goes on a little longer. This was a few years ago, back in 2019, back at the very start, or the beginning of 2020, right at the beginning of the coronavirus incident. So we ended up having to stay the week at home, getting a break, and then that break was extended from 1 week to 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks to 3 weeks,
The
and
whole
then
freaking year. Yeah, I
we
was like, there we go.
we never saw each other again.
Oh no. Yeah.
That was so unfortunate, but I had fun. I was like, hey, this is cool.
You gotta connect with them. You gotta invite them to the server. And continue your
Yeah.
story. Bring back Druid the Druid.
Druid the Druid, yes. He didn't have a personality because we only spent 1 session with him.
It's perfect.
And we didn't do any role playing.
Yeah.
It was just combat.
Yeah. That's like how it goes. It's like you're just learning how to play.
Yeah.
Druid the Druid. It's fantastic.
I think the spells that I chose were Cure Wounds, Goodberry, Thunder Wave. And then the other ones, I don't think I ever managed to get a choice. Or I never used them or remember them. I know that a cantrip that I chose was Thorn Whip, and it's still one of my favorite cantrips. I love Thorn Whip.
Thorn Whip's good.
Thorn Whip is great.
Mortimer, how did you get into the cult? D&D. How'd you get into D&D?
Well, I was introduced to Critical Role first, I believe, during one Christmas hangout, I believe, with some friends of mine. Got introduced to Critical Role, and I was like, you know what, I'll try it. And then I really fell in love with that. And then I was at my local library, believe it or not, at the time. And over the intercom, they said, if you want to try and play some D&D, go over here.
No way!
So
That's the coolest library ever!
So I decided, you know what? I've always wanted to try it, and I figured why not? Because I took improv classes in high school and did a bunch of stuff like that, and I was like, you know what? Why not? This sounds really fun. And I did a one-shot where I played as a level 20 red dragonborn barbarian who fought a iron golem, I believe, and I had no idea what I was doing at the time. So started off all the way at the top, and yeah.
Man, that would have been great.
Level
Level 20 barbarians are just like special.
Mm-hmm.
I love level 20 barbarians. I've never played one, but they just sound so really cool on paper.
They get crazy
Like just
abilities when they're raging, like you can't be killed
just
or something.
24 strength and 3 extra brutal critical die.
Yep.
Like,
and
being able to deal 5d12 damage is just yes.
Mm-hmm. Plus that 24 con means you're gonna stay up forever.
Yeah, you just live forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially now with all the stuff that's out. If you're a zealot barbarian, you're never going to die.
Yeah, zealot barbarians are just required to live.
Yeah,
like by law.
Level 20 zealot barbarians who have done everything right, I guess, will basically just never die. 1, because of their ability to never die, and 2, because barbarians at that level never stop raging. So
Yeah, they can rage indefinitely, and my favorite thing about level 20 barbarians, I know that like at level 17, I think, a berserker barbarian can kill themselves in 30 seconds just by being too angry. If you could take if you could take a bonus action as an action, then that gets cut down to 15. Which is just amazing. I find that hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you aren't like contractually obligated to go bear totem. Like,
no, you're not.
It's amazing being a level 20 barbarian instead of just having to actually play the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you never die, basically.
What's your opinion on Berserker Barb?
It feel like the barbarian could have some of it, the berserker's abilities just innately, but
Yeah,
it's not the best, but it's actually not too terrible either, because the odds of you raging that many times to get that many exhaustion points is not likely.
right. I had a character. He exists here. You just haven't met him. Uh, you just have to go meet him. He's a Berserker Barbarian. I remember I was in a camp. I was in a server. I left it because the owner's bitch. I ended up doing a specific rolling method. Normally they have 4d6 RR1 KH3, which is basically just better rolling for stats because you reroll ones.
Mm-hmm.
You reroll ones before you keep all. But I did something else, which was 3d6. That's it. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. You can't reroll, and you don't have any buffer for bad rolls. So I ended up getting an 18, and no, wait, you get to roll twice and pick whichever array you want. So I ended up getting two really bad arrays. Like they were both like between 60 and 65. Like they were terrible. But I got 118 in one of them, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. So I ended up making a Berserker Barbarian specifically for one little sports mini game, which was Sword Ball. And holy shit, he was great. Like Berserker Barbs, they don't require very high stats to function.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of need Constitution, and that's it. And I put that 18 in Constitution and chose Leonin because they have the Daunting Roar, which was really good in Sword Ball because just having your goalie be frightened for an action is just you instantly lose. Like you instantly get scored on. I really like min-maxing with rolled stats. It's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Still want to do a one shot where it's like the worst rolls possible and you just have the worst character that you could possibly think of and try to play
Yeah,
them out.
but that's not as interesting as just like purposely making it bad. I think having bad put in front of you and then just making it good. Like you have to pick the good from the bad, or you just get a small amount of good in the bad and then just figure it out from there. I like that.
I don't know. I've played with a group where we were all they were all bards, and one of the bards didn't put any ranks in their perform, which is Pathfinder. So they were the worst, and they rolled so well. It's like, how are you doing so well when you have literally no ranks in this? Like, why didn't you put ranks in it? Yeah, because I didn't want it. Like, it's just funny.
Like you are not allowed to have ranks here.
Yeah. They just wanted to be like this, not the stereotypical bard, you know.
Yeah, I think just to go kind of an opposite direction of that, I've only had one character that I've rolled like really good stats for, which I don't think that I can't bring them onto the play by post anymore.
Oh no, why is that?
Test your assumptions at your earliest convenience. I'm not at liberty to discuss why, but it's story reasons, so you'll just have to ask characters of mine and maybe you'll find out. But their stats were I think I got like 2 18s, 2 16s, and then I think it was 2 14s after that.
Holy hell.
Yeah. They were amazing at everything, but things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Are they dead?
I did imply it, but yes.
Okay.
Come to Pathfinder. My DM, one of my DMs, has it where we roll a d20 and for our stats, and we roll, I think it's just 6 of them, and then anything that is an 8 or lower just stays an 8. And I rolled 2 20s, a 19, and a 15, and then the rest were like 8s.
Man, you're a cheater.
My friends hated me. They're like, how can you roll so well? And it's just like, yeah, my character had a 29 constitution. Their AC was
Oh my god.
ridiculous. Let me pull her up. Michelangelo, my Kappa. Freaking love her. She died.
Oh.
Well, she died. Her mirrored version didn't die. Which was
okay.
There's
that's good.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah. Pathfinder's great. Anyway, sorry. I won't flex that anymore, but I want to play with you guys sometime. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Put Strength in a Pathfinder and then he kills the gods.
If he was a Pathfinder character, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Where he's at right now.
A Pathfinder character, he'd be amazing. I'm limited by the rules of I'm limited by the laws of physics. I must break free, escape to a new reality, be reborn, stronger. I mean, I could just quote unquote be reborn stronger right now, but the in character, like, did anybody tell you about the simulacrum trick where you could just change your species to anything you want, to any creature you like?
For what do you mean?
Like in 5e, you know the simulacrum spell, right?
Yeah.
So wait, no, it doesn't involve. It doesn't involve simulacrum is for infinite wishes.
I was gonna say, I was
wishes.
like, you can't. I didn't think it was that one because that you could just you could do infinite of something.
So what you do is you cast Glyph of Warding Glyph of Warding at 9th level, and inside it you put Clone.
But you can't. I think that Glyph of Warding, it doesn't allow you to cast a spell higher than 4. Which I looked this.
Well, it doesn't let you It doesn't let you cast a spell that high of a level because you need to upcast it in order to do so. Like if you upcast it, you can put stronger spells into it.
Okay.
So that's why I have to put it at 9th level. So you do that and then do it for Clone. You need to supply the material components for both as usual, and then after that you take a long rest so that you get your spell slots back, or you just have a simulacrum do it, which is great. And then you cast True Polymorph on yourself. I think, yeah, that's how it works. You cast True Polymorph on yourself, and then put it into your desired form, and then step on the glyph, which will cast Clone on you. And because you are a different species, the clone inside will be of that species. Then you either wait for it to mature or cast Wish to make it mature instantly.
Oh my gosh.
And then die. And then you become that species.
Sus. There's actually another spell that you could just transmutate yourself to a different species. Caleb, Widowgast, whatever it's called, that they use in Critical
Yeah.
Role.
Yep, Widowgast transmogrification.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that, but I don't want to because A, I have to homebrew it so that Sranth wants to do it, but he doesn't because it would quote unquote risk his soul. He doesn't like that.
Uh-huh.
And chromatic dragons, which would obviously be his target, cannot polymorph. They can't polymorph. Metallic dragons can polymorph into humanoids to disguise their, them. But chromatic dragons cannot. So you just have Sranth. He'd be like, 20 feet tall and like big, and with no thumbs. And that would not be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to homebrew it so that he can just keep himself in a humanoid form so that he, doesn't have to. Why can't I think? I'm bad at thinking.
Because it's late.
I don't even. Yeah, it's late. It's 2 a.m. Playing Cookie Clicker. We could still play Never Have I Ever. Honestly, I'm interested to play Never Have I Ever, but just as us, as the players,
all right,
not in character.
We can do that. Let's end it with that. Let's play some
Never
Have I Ever. Okay, you go first, Ranth.
End it with that.
Get to know us. Never have I ever killed a person. Wait, no, let's not. Because that's like what you do in D&D, right? Like that's the first thing everyone wants to know.
Never have I ever
have
killed
you killed someone? Are you an assassin?
Who starts?
You can start if you'd like.
Man, now I got to think about something.
Wait.
Never have I ever.
Hold on. Before I start like coming up with questions on what to ask and whatnot, did we turn off the podcast, or are we still going on the podcast?
We're still on the podcast. We can turn it off if we'd like to.
Okay.
Monday's the Monastery. Yeah.
If we want, we can end them.
We could do it in character.
Might be better for them. Like, you guys, you
Yeah,
aren't our friends yet. No, you are. You're not. Just like, all right, Mortem, send us.
Is there anything to ask?
Okay. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I guess I'm doing it this way. Have a great night. Don't forget to check out all our Patreon, YouTube, and even our Discord. Have a great night. Yes, Twitter. Have a great night or day, depending on where you are. And thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Memento Mori.
Yeah, there you go. Memento Mori. Right. We got. Hold on.
I'm working on it.
I want to do the countdown too. So Centrum Annorum, we got 9 years, 55 days, 56 minutes. Exactly when I said that. So there you go. Memento Mori.
Memento Mori.
Memento Mori.